for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network. Jimmy Murphy here. Pierre McGuire will not be with me today here. Has some other obligations to attend to, but we will go on with our on-campus Friday here on the Eye Test. And we'll get right into it here as we welcome on University of Wisconsin head coach Mike Hastings joining me here on the Eye Test. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. So I know tough loss last night, but you're right back at it tonight. You must like these back-to-backs. So you don't think about it much. Just get right back into it, huh?
Yeah, you know what? A little human nature on either side. If you win, you're feeling good about it. If you don't, you're not. The good thing is on either side, you get up the next day and attack it, and that's what we've got to do tonight.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, that don't follow college hockey as closely as we do here, just talk about the Big Ten this year and how competitive it's been. I mean, arguably, I'd say the toughest conference in the league right now in college hockey.
Yeah, the good thing is it makes you better, and hopefully at the end of the year, your book of business is good enough to be playing at the most important time in the NCAA tournament. But yeah, if you take a night off, not only are you going to get beat, you can get embarrassed. And so I just think, iron sharpens iron. And so when we get into league play, it's a difficult hill to climb every night. And we saw that last night, and it'll be no different than tonight.
All right, and so a 4-3 loss on Thursday night to Michigan State, but right back at it on Friday. Coach, before we get back into just the current team and everything, what we do on this show a lot is try to get to know the coaches and get their backgrounds, how they got into coaching. So, where did your coaching career begin, and what made you want to be a coach?
Well, at first, I'd like to be able to tell you that it was just a dream of mine to be a coach, but that's not exactly the path that was laid down for myself. I was playing at St. Cloud State. My freshman year, I'd played for Herb Brooks, and then after that, I'd played for Craig Dahl, and I ended up getting injured. Well, part of my package there was a little bit of scholarship, not a lot, but I wanted to keep it, and Craig Dahl gave me an opportunity to stay on staff there a little bit as an undergrad. And a little difficult as far as just going from the locker room to the coach's room. Right. But that started. And then as I got into that, Mike Genzel gave me my first opportunity after that, the USHL as an assistant coach. And I enjoyed the heck out of staying in the game and been able to learn from a lot of really good people that I've been around in my career. And it's something that sometimes you don't know the direction you're going. And at that time, it was more out of a necessity to try and hold on to some cash. But for really at the end of the day, it became something that I really enjoyed. And I've been fortunate to make a career out of it.
Herb Brooks, huh? I mean, do you take anything from that experience? I know it was brief, but what was that like playing for the great Herb Brooks?
You know what? I guess I'd tell you from the player perspective that I think obviously in talking to other guys that had played for him and then were around him in the coaching world, Bobby Motzko at that time when I was a freshman, who's the head coach at Minnesota, was a student assistant at St. Cloud. And you didn't want to disappoint him. That was the biggest thing. I'll also tell you the idea of accountability. I learned that in a hurry with Herb. And just the idea of motivating players. Now, in today's world, you have to do it a little bit differently. Yeah. But at that time, he had a unique ability to get people to buy in into the we piece, and it's something that I've stayed with my career.
Good transition there. I was going to ask you about today's world and what it's been like for you as we go on here, adapting to new generations of hockey players. We know there's so much more in video now than maybe, I'm 51, than maybe when I was growing up, or you yourself. What's that been like adapting to this new generation?
I think the word that I'd utilize for that, whether it is through video, individual skills, communication.
Yeah, that's
and you know what? It's a we thing. It used to be, when you and I were back in the day, if your coach told you something, you did it because he was the coach. Right. In my experiences here over the last 10, 12 years, there's got to be a connection of the we piece where You never were able to question why back in our day. And today you better be presenting exactly what the why is on a daily basis, because they're asking those questions. And I think that communication and then having a relationship with your players that goes a little bit deeper than just the game of hockey allows you to understand them a little bit better, and probably the best way to coach them.
Yeah, for sure. But, I think we had Scott Sandelin on last week, and, he was saying exactly the same stuff as you, but he says you still have to stress accountability. And that's something that's always going to be a foundation when it comes to the coach player, right?
It is. And what I've found with the best players, they actually want that. They want the accountability, because you learn this as you go on. If you can't help them, they really don't have time for you. I don't care what level it is. And I get that, being a player a long time ago. The guys that helped me develop a little bit of a mentality is the Frank Serratoris, who's at Air Force, and people that I've been around that are successful are okay holding people accountable. It's just, in today's day and age, it's got to be side by side. It can't just be the coach's way, and it's embracing that.
Right. I got you with that. Another thing that you've had to adapt to in more recent times, Coach, is NIL, and now, of course, the CHL and NCAA agreement. What has that been like for you and your whole staff, and how have you delegated maybe new roles to people in terms of recruiting?
Yeah, there's, it used to be, hey, show them what you could offer them as far as development and chasing a degree, and trying to set young players up for life, not just the idea of hopefully playing in the National Hockey League. And now there's different buckets that they can draw from other than just those opportunities. And so I think one of the most difficult things that, whether it was Sandy or Scotty, who you talked to, myself, different guys in our game today, is making sure that you're communicating what those opportunities are. And then the landscape of that is, within a quick turn, we all of a sudden had another 60 teams, that were in our recruiting pool. Yeah. And so it's developed an understanding that there's no book of business that comes before that and tells you this is how it's going. Each university gets to make their decisions on how they're going to utilize the NIL, the revenue share. And so it's ever changing. I think this day and age, you better be nimble. You better be willing to adjust and adapt if you want to be successful.
Now, are there certain areas, maybe up in Canada, where you guys traditionally recruited, but now you've expanded?
Yeah, you know what? Back at MSU, before I was at Wisconsin, and I'll go back to the old days of the WCHA, which I grew up around. Yeah, me too. Western Canada was a gold mine for players. I don't think that's changed. I just think it's expanded to, we now are getting into Ontario and the OHL. We're recruiting the Q. Really, it's not only border to border, but it's international. You're going across the pond and seeing the players being more open to coming over here and trying to develop as players and as people. And so, like I said, the idea of being able to adapt and make sure that you're communicating with your staff on what we have to be doing to make us successful on the recruiting side and then the relationship side once they get here.
One of the things that we noticed early on when this started to get, I'm talking about the CHL and NCAA agreement, when it started to kind of creep into the media and there was whispers it was going to happen, and then as it happened, was the hesitancy from up north, and like the way college hockey was viewed up there as compared to down here. It seems now, though, and just working in the media, I'm just speaking from my point of view, talking to colleagues up in Canada, people are starting to realize how much college hockey has to offer and the quality of the game. Do you see that transition as well when you're talking to coaches and players?
I do. We're trying to build the same relationships up north that we've cultivated down in the United States with the USHL, the North American Hockey League. I'd say a little bit of trust, because we're after their assets. Right. And so it affects their product on the ice, which in turn, there's some guys, we've got 2 guys from Calgary that program did an unbelievable job preparing those guys to come in and be impactful players year one. Blake Montgomery, who's an Ottawa draft, played in the USHL, developed there, made a decision last year to go to London.
Right.
And he makes a run all the way to the Mem Cup. And the one thing that I thought the Hunter crew did very well, which they do at a lot of different levels, is they teach Monty how to play both ends of the rink. He was very accomplished offensively in Lincoln, and they had done a good job. And then he gets to London and rounds out his game a little bit, which has allowed him to come in and make an impact on our program right away.
Yeah, and I thought one thing too was when you saw guys like Gavin McKenna and Porter Martone coming down here, people immediately thought like they were going to have the stats they had up there, and they were just going to dominate and it hasn't exactly gone that way. It's not that these players are playing poorly by any means, but I think it's shown the rest of the hockey world, like college hockey is a man's game when it comes down to it. And I think that's the difference that I think a lot of people didn't understand. Do you notice that as well?
Yeah, I think the old adage, and you look at the most elite level, and you have some unbelievably gifted players playing in the National Hockey League at 18, 19, 20. Even those players at the elite level that they have, excuse me, take a little bit of time because they're playing against bigger, stronger, faster, more accomplished players. Just from an experience standpoint, it's no different than college hockey. You've got to be able to do it back to back. We do get a little bit more time on the developmental side, and the resources that we have to feed them, train them, try and round out their day as far as time management, because they've got academics they've got to handle too.
Yep.
Hopefully we're preparing them for the most elite level and then after.
And how's the relationship changed with, I don't know if we still have to call them player reps or family advisors, but how has that relationship changed between coaches and family advisors since all this came into play?
You better have it. Relationships, because again, and that's one thing I think with the young player, they've got a lot of people in their ear.
Yeah.
Well, mom and dad, advisors, pro teams. There's just a lot of different lines of communication you've got to have. But I do think it's hard for young people to understand. At the end of the day, they got to drive their own bus, because they're the ones that are going to be responsible for what they're doing on the ice and off the ice and their own development, and taking that responsibility for their development as an individual, I think is a really important piece on how fast you can get there.
All right, Coach. My final question for you too is, as fans get used to this news, I know it's not too different from pairwise, but the NPI, just explain in layman's terms, maybe to fans, how you could enter this weekend's play number 2 in the poll, but 6th in the NPI.
Yeah, your body of work is from the beginning of the year, which we start in October. And as you can stack either good wins or bad losses. And what I mean by that is we're playing Michigan State this weekend. We lose the first game and we drop from, I think it was 3 to 6, as you just said.
Yeah.
And the rankings are just opinion polls. The NPI is our Bible. Because at the end of the day, that is what determines if you're going to get in the tournament or not. And so for us, that never ends. There's not a game that doesn't matter. And I know that sounds just like coach speak, but at the end of the day, you're judged on every one of them. And so whether you're on, you get a little bit of a bump if you went on the road, you get a little bit worse. It hurts you if you lose at home. So we're in the infancy of the NPI. It's the first time we're doing this. Had an idea what the pairwise was. It does mirror that real closely, but we're going to see. Just like I said every day when we talk about it, the games that are played in October, even though it seems like there's more importance when it gets to January, February, they're balanced the same way. They cost you a positive or a negative, and it's your entire book of business to decide if you're going to be there at the end.
All right, good stuff. Well, listen, Coach, we wish you the best of luck against Michigan State and going forward in the season. And before we know it, we'll be talking tournaments. So hopefully we can get you on down the line.
All right, Jimmy. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Our pleasure. Wisconsin head coach Mike Hastings joined us here on the Eye Test on Campus Friday. That was my first time meeting Coach Hastings, but just in preparing for this interview and talking to people that know him, even my co-host Pierre McGuire, just aces. The guy's a great guy, obviously a great coach. You can see what he's doing with Wisconsin there. Go check his record at Minnesota State. I mean, it was amazing what he did there. All the couple Frozen Four appearances, and also his track record of making the NCAA tournament. But it's interesting there. I'm glad he brought up Herb Brooks too, because what a way for him to start off his coaching or playing career rather, but to have that in his back pocket, the experience that he didn't know, unfortunately, he was going to need a year later when he was injured and had to switch over to the coaching side and have his hockey playing career abruptly end. That I'm sure, as he pointed out there, that definitely came in valuable. So great stuff there. Gonna go to our sponsors and our picks for Betway in a second too. One thing though I want to touch on, a lot of people, I'm just switching gears here to the NHL, giving you a little update. So a lot of people have asked us through the week as I was writing with RG about the Bruins, Boston Bruins being in on Rasmus Anderson, Calgary Flames defenseman, and the trade sweepstakes that are going on for him. It's really picked up. Excuse me. And what I can say is don't be surprised if there's a trade by the end of the weekend. And some of you might not have even watched this yet. And what I can tell you when it comes to the Bruins, I wrote about it again for RG on Friday morning, is they want him. And they've been right at the forefront trying to get him. They've made an offer. But as of now, I'm sorry, my throat's going crazy here. Rasmus Anderson will not sign an extension. This is as of Friday morning as we record this. He would not sign an extension with the Boston Bruins. I was told he won't sign one with the Ottawa Senators, who are interested. And he was sort of up in the air on the Detroit Red Wings. Also have been told that he is interested in the Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights. Elliot Friedman confirmed this as well in his 32 Thoughts podcast that came out Friday morning. So just for those, I've been getting a lot of messages to follow up on that. And I know we're not live today and we weren't talking a lot of NHL. So hopefully when you watch this at 4 p.m. Eastern, it's at least still a current situation. I gave you the update you needed there. But back to college hockey. All right, before we do that, let's talk about our wonderful sponsor, Vago Italian, where you can go and combine old world classics and new Italian dishes. They've done this for over 23 years. They've got private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount borough of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. I'll tell you, if I was in Montreal right now in the downtown core or near Westmount, I would get over there right now and get some soup, because I'm sure they have some great Italian soup, maybe some Italian wedding soup. I don't know if you ever had that. It's my favorite. Because I got this damn cold keeps coming back, and I could use some great Vago cooking right now. So if you're like me and battling the elements, get over there right now for a nice warm meal and warm hospitality. All right, let's get to Betway, where you can still go. I apologize. You can still go all the way with Betway and bet the beauties. Go right there to the QR code in front of you or to the members section and fill out the details there. You'll get a great deal. You get up to $300 back on your first deposit. Excuse me. And this offer is not available in Ontario. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply, and always bet responsibly. And I'll tell you how to bet responsibly. I apologize for the throat right now. I'll tell you how to bet responsibly in college hockey this weekend. Ride some dogs. It's underdog city for me in college hockey. And as we always do, we can only do the Friday games because when it comes to college hockey, they don't have the Saturday games odds available. But if you go right now, find Providence is at Boston College. Providence is playing some great hockey right now. They're peaking at the right time. They are rising in the NPI. I like them to go into BC and pull off the upset. 14th ranked Providence over number 12 Boston College at plus 140 value. Then we go to Minnesota, where the Minnesota Gophers are hosting the number 1 Michigan Wolverines. I like number 1 to go down. Down goes number 1. Upset special right there. Minnesota plus 154 underdogs. Give me that there. And then we'll go to Wisconsin. The aforementioned coach Mike Hastings and his Badgers are hosting Michigan State in the tail end of a back-to-back home and home with the Spartans. Give me the Wisconsin Badgers at plus 124 underdogs. They are number 2. Be a huge win for them to come back and win tonight. So that's it, my folks. And I'm going to have to go right now because I don't know if I can keep talking with my throat the way it is. I apologize. But everyone out there, have a great weekend. Thanks to Shane working the boards. Thanks to head coach Mike Hastings of Wisconsin. And thanks to you, the listeners and viewers, for all your support and listening all week. We will talk to you on Monday on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.